Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode. Dave Rodriguez here, one of the head traders inside the Alliance community. Want to give a shout out to everybody watching the video today. As always, we appreciate that support. Make sure you guys mash that subscribe button if you have not already. Get those alerts turned on and hit that like button on your way out if you guys enjoyed today's content. All you newbie viewers, make sure you stay to the very end. We will be revealing our free ebook, The Cryptocurrency Consumer Guide. It has all our best kept secrets and strategies, tons of facts, and some key things you need to know in order to make it in this market. So don't waste any more time. Let's jump right in. First, let's talk about Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin is trading inside a range. We're down here on the 2-hour, guys. We're going to zoom in and see what's really going on. What kind of candles we have in play. So we are ranging between 500 and 3,600. We have a nice tight range here. Huge pin bar candle. Started bearish, very bearish. Buyer set in, shoved the candle upside and drove it about 3 or 4%. From down here, 5%, but from right in the range, 3 or 4% to the upside. One tap to the upside here, nice hammer candle, and tried to go again, double tap, kind of a double top here. This candle is very interesting. This is the reverse of this candle. This candle sent us up about 5%. This candle is not only a huge engulfing candle, this candle engulfs this entire candle, so it's a bearish engulfing candle, but it's also a very unique candle that starts its way up, gets rejected, and ends in a huge bearish manner. Now, the next candle is usually a validation candle. It usually goes up about 50% of the candle, so it should go up about where it did. Usually go up to about 50% of the candle, so you'd be able to enter here in different ways. Some people would say enter here at the end of the bearish candle for one entry. Another entry would be at a 50% retracement of the bearish candle, which would be right about here. I can see this going as high as doing another tap, just like these continue to do. These are just fake outs. These are just to shake the hands out of the market, the weak hands, the people who can't take the heat, take the pressure per se. But this is a huge bearish sign, just like this was a huge bullish sign. As I told you guys yesterday, we were going to see some upside out of this. I don't know how much, but we were going to see some upside. So it looked like it topped out right here at the break of these two candles. We're ranging between, we got about $100 range right now, which is very tight. So until we break out of one side or the other, it's just very small little margin trades on places like BitMEX. This is not a place to be placing, something on Binance and trying to catch a small 2%. But if you guys are, margin traders, these are the trades that we take day in and day out. And our risk would have to be bigger than our reward. So, a lot of times, you're leveraged like crazy on those sites. So you can make a lot of money, or you could lose a lot of money. It's very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, and you should take every trade safely and follow the rules. But like I said, I don't see a big move in either way happening. And if it does happen, I really think we're looking at downside. The reason I look for the downside is not only because of these two, couple of issues I've showed you here on the 2-hour. Also on the 4-hour, we have two sell candles here. One here that was really never topped, really never crossed over the price action here as far as the candles, the wicks it did. But the candles, it stayed in this range here. One big, huge sell candle here, and then another big, huge sell candle here. We're just kind of working our way back down to the bottom, probably the bottom side of this range here. So I think, even on this 4-hour, there's a 2% move here back down to the downside. But the reason I really think that this is going to make its way down is we'll go to the daily, and we've been speaking about this for a while. Is just because this wedge that we've been looking at here, and I'll draw it fast so we can, kind of get a look at it here. This wedge we've been looking at here, some would say let's move it down to here. Some would say it's been broken and it's starting to retest. Let's go down to a smaller time frame. And so you can see that retest play out. As you can see, here's the daily trend line that's been following. Breakout here, confirmation. Retest here, another retest with an even bigger rejection, which shows that there's sellers here. This is looking bearish. At least to here, if it breaks this downside, 3,000 is going to be one of my biggest targets to the downside as an ultimate target overall. But it could take a while to get there. We could see a lot of sideways up and down action. So that's what I'm looking at now, guys, is I think this retest is in play. I think we're going to see a leg to the downside. I think this is, somewhat of a weird looking flag here. Reverse flag pattern that should turn around and do something like this. So it'll go level by level. It won't shoot down to 3,000. That's just not going to happen. I think if we keep going bearish, 3,000 is the ultimate goal. We still haven't tapped it. We got really close, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. I kept talking about 3,000 as my ultimate goal. I think we got down to 3150. So I'd love to see 3,000 tapped. And I'll show you again why 3,000 is so important. It's because at 3,000, we can see, excuse me, 3,000 area, you can see oh, excuse me, guys, this is Coinbase. That's the regular one. $3,000 area. You can see this area of rejection, which is huge. Once we scroll in, you'll see what I mean. 3,000 here, 3,000 in this area, broke through, came back down, pinpoint, retested it, and then off to 20 grand. So, that's the last time it touched an area this low, was 3,000. That's my lowest support that I think we'll go to. I don't think we'll go below that, but I'm not much of a speculator. I go day by day and see how everything's worked out. To me, it looks like from body to body here, if you want to go body to body, we've broken this trend here. It's come out, it's retested it. Yes, this is a hammer candle at the bottom, kind of at the bottom. We're also looking at somewhat of a, kind of like a little wedge formation here, inside the other one. Kind of like this downward bearish channel. So, we could see a pop to the upside like a flag. You could check the Fibonacci and see where we're at there. We've pinpoint touched the 78.6, which is the lowest point of the Fibonacci. If we cross that, it's just not going to make it. So there is some bullish action here. I could see it, heading all the way up to that $4,700 range, weeks and months from now, if this breaks to the upside. Because, a lot of these Forex extensions, the 2027 extension has been showing up quite well, which shows a lot of Forex traders are coming over. But long story short, guys, I think some downside is going to happen. Maybe we see a double bottom here right around 3,200. Again, maybe 3,000 is breached. Maybe that's the new low. And there's one possibility that, this hammer and this 78.6 touch could take it back to the upside and this flag could play out. I just see a lot of bullish in the market right now. Bearish in the market right now, and I got to agree with it. The retest of this breakout, if I'm drawing it up here correctly, is just letting me know that we're going to see some downside action. So will we break the low? Will we go down to 30 to 3 grand? We'll see soon. So let's talk about something else. There was an article I read about Japan becoming maybe the first country to ditch cash for cryptocurrency, and I thought that was weird because, whether you're aware or not, most payments in Japan, which is the world's third largest country, they still involve cash and metal coins. Most payments throughout the whole country's ecosystem spend cash and metal coins, and that's far apart from places like China, South Korea, where various cashless payment systems dominate, just like here in the U.S., like debit cards and credit cards, stuff like that. But in order to make that work, there needs to be ATM systems all over the country and things like armored trucks to have money, to move money from place to place, from one place to the next, like ATM machines to banks, stuff like that. Also, cash registers need to be set up to take these payments as well. They have a lot of progress that needs to be taken. It needs to be had to move to be able to even talk about something like that. But the reason I thought it was catchy is because the craziest thing about the article is that in 2020, the Olympics are actually in Japan. So if you think about it, millions of people will visit Japan and they'll spend billions of dollars via cashless payment systems, and Japan's not set up for that. In the article, they just said that they're just not set up. They're more of a cash and metal coin type of country. So they're just not simply set up to handle it. Now, Mitsubishi Financial Group, the country's largest bank, also, I looked it up, it's the fifth largest in the world by total assets. They've teamed up with Akami. Now, Akami is actually an American internet company, and they've teamed up to build a blockchain-based consumer payment system in time for the Olympics. So they have less than a year to get that in place, tested, and functional. So if pulled off, though, this will actually be the fastest and most powerful consumer payment network in the world to date. Now, they have tests that claim that they already have tests that claim they're handling more than 1 million transactions per second, and each confirmed in under 2 seconds or less. Now, the Bitcoin's like 7 transactions per second, and each transaction could take up to an hour. So just look at that. And they're saying that they'll eventually have this up to 10 million transactions per second, which is awesome. It's equipped to handle anything from something simple like, well, not simple, but something like automated highway tolls, which is something we take for granted, but they're not set up overseas, to payment card swipes, even things like in-app purchases, online purchases, stuff like that. Now, the Prime Minister, I quote, says he wants 40% payments to be cashless by 2025, which is a 6-year goal. 1 year of that into it, the Olympics are going to be there, so that's going to be something they need to put the pressure on them for. They're even offering tax breaks to huge companies, or any companies rather, who are willing to get on board with the blockchain-based systems. I read that some of Japan's biggest financial leaders think that the best way to wean Japan off cash lies in the technology that sits behind and runs the Bitcoin networks. Now, I think that since many of the large companies have stepped up and bet on blockchain, and their prime minister, since they bet on blockchain and the prime minister is behind it, I think they're prime to maybe test something like digital cash and actually use it successfully and be kind of like the hub for other people to test their digital cash systems in Japan. So I think that could work. Japan's obviously relatively tech savvy, and they account for a large part, and this is I know because I'm a trader, they account for a large part of all Forex trades, a huge part of the Forex trades, and also the crypto trades that are placed. Japan also accounts for a huge part of both of those, so that's very positive as well. Let's just see what happens, you know what I mean? I think it's a long shot, but if the Mitsubishi Financial Group actually has a working product in place that actually does what it says, I think it could happen. But the Prime Minister is going to need to keep pressure on him and get everything going before the Olympics. I don't think it needs to be done by the Olympics for this to be functional, period. But that would be great. In all reality, what this thing needs to do is just what it says. Be able to transact for less money, way quicker, and make the system in Japan a lot easier. So I think it could happen. It's a long shot, like I said, but at the same time, if it does what it says it's going to do, it solves a lot of the problems with blockchain, and the problems with money being hacked. All the systems being hacked, like Mt. Gox, and that was in Japan. You know what I mean? Hacked $450 million. Coin check after that. I think it was $500 million there too. So they don't want those types of things to happen, and people don't want to put their money or trust and money in the systems that can be hacked and taken advantage of. So this new system built by Mitsubishi Financial Group with the American company as well, um, if that's in place and that works, then I think they're golden, and they could be the future of digital cash, and then it could start taking place all over the rest of the world, which is what I'm looking for. So congrats to them. Hopefully that works out, and I love what Mitsubishi Financial Group is doing with the virtual payment system. So I think that's pretty cool. So look up that article if you want to read the whole thing. It's very, very long, but I got a lot of the good parts out for you guys here, so you guys could check it out. But watch for Bitcoin. If you see a big upside break, get them entries in for those low cap coins, all these ones over here to the right that I always look at every day, day in, day out. When I see setups, I'll give them to you, but I thought there was some interesting stuff about Bitcoin I wanted to show you. So until tomorrow, guys, make sure that you go to that description below. If you're brand new, get your free ebook. It's the bitcoinconsumerguide.com/YT. That's like YouTube. If you like what you see, mash that subscribe button, mash that like button. Come back every day and watch our videos, listen to what we have to say, and join our community. Once you click that link, guys, you're going to get that free ebook. It's got a lot of great things inside of it that you guys are going to need to know. It'll teach you some things I guarantee you didn't know before you read it. Also, a lot of good things by Cody Sperber himself, the clever investor. He's going to teach you guys some things. He's got a lot of free value. He's got a lot of free things to give away, which is super exciting. And it's just cool to sit back and talk to one of my mentors, or sit back and listen to one of my mentors, one of the great financial minds in the real estate market today. So he has a lot of cool things to say about crypto, how he got involved, and it's a great story. So you guys make sure you watch everything. Make sure you take advantage of all the free value, especially the stuff from Cody Sperber and the free ebook. And we'll see you back here tomorrow on the next Bitcoin Breakdown.